Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, if you guys saw the last episode, or the last video, we were talking about things surrounding the Tim Tebow situation. And last one was specifically about Tim Tebow. I was going to do Colin Kaepernick's next, but I need to gather more information, get the stats written down, and get a few other things kind of, on paper so that I could display them proper. But in this one, we're going to talk about the remaining tight ends on the free agency market and why shifting Tebow to tight end would actually be a better choice than having signed any of those players despite differences in ages between themselves and Tebow. So with that being said, I actually have the list right here. And I made it specifically so that I'm going to actually turn this on real quick. I actually don't know if that helped any. I think it actually made it worse. So I'm going to shut that off. Okay, so laying down is better. Okay, so I wrote down every single tight end that's currently still a free agent, not including ones that might not have been on rosters when he was signed. So we have Jesse James with 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Eifert had 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's kind of injury prone, but I'm only basing it off of last year's stats. Josh Hill had 40 yards and a touchdown. Virgil Green had 50 yards and a touchdown. Demetrius Harris, I think, 45 yards, no touchdowns. Jordan Reed had 231 yards and 4 touchdowns. Louis Stalker had 63 yards, no touchdowns. Trey Burton had 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jooff Schmidt or some shit, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Seth Tebow had 0 and 0. Ross Dwelly had 19 yards and touchdown. Anthony Fursker had 38 yards and touchdown. Marcus Bow had 2 touchdowns, or 2 yards, no touchdowns. Colwick had 0-0. Jake Butt had 5 yards, no touchdowns. JVD 0-0. Tommy Stevens 24-0. Joshua Perkins 17-2. We have we have 6 people that didn't have any, 7 people that had no stats available, period. Sam Colkin had 0-0, and then Jordan Leggett had 114 and a touchdown. So notice how with all the free agent tight ends, nobody had more than 349 yards, and no one had more than 4 touchdowns. And a lot of them, they would have had to pay at least $1 million or a couple million for and have a signing bonus. Whereas Tim Tebow was signed to the league's minimum $950K, I think it is, with 0 signing bonus and a chance to only have to pay him a little over half of it if he were to get injured or miss a significant amount of time. With that being said, I think with just the stats that I just listed off, without even looking at what their offers are, I think that Jacksonville made a good choice in just giving Tebow a bare minimum contract instead of giving multiple millions to other players for them to potentially either be old and get injured and have to retire or just not play well at all or barely do anything on the team. Whereas from what we've seen on Tebow's end of things, he just in his training camps, he's already won over Trevor Lawrence, who is obviously going to be the starting quarterback for the team. He's won over some of the other coaches besides Meyer? I forgot the guy's name. Urban Meyer. That was his name. And I honestly think that he will minimum be the backup for the team. And I honestly think him in a backup role could be better than every of the 20-ish names I just listed off. Lastly, though, when it comes to this, is you have to evaluate last year, and that's what the stats were about, but you have to also realize that some of those guys didn't play at all or got injured and are really fucking old, so can easily be injured again. So do I think signing Tim Tebow at tight end is a great idea? Yeah, because it saves you millions of dollars instead of signing one of the other players on this list. And the only thing Tebow would have to do to make it worth it is get 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. Which, reminder, we have 17 games this season. I think if he has 30 yards per game, he'll have, above the yardage mark, and as long as he scores at least 1 touchdown every 3 games, then that would be enough to, give validation to him being signed. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is a shorter video because even though I had all these stats written down, that's all it was, is to perform stats, talk about maybe some of them being too as old as Tebow, but more injury prone, or just not being an impact player like they might think Tim Tebow could be. And let me know down below what you guys think of the situation. Do you think Tebow should have stayed at quarterback or just not come back to the NFL? Do you think him going to tight end is a good idea, especially considering the fact that years ago that's what people wanted him to do, was to become a tight end? But yeah, I'd like to read you guys' thoughts. Share the video, like it if you enjoyed it, or if you didn't enjoy it, you can dislike it. Doesn't really matter either or, I guess. But if you didn't like it, please let me know down below why you didn't like it so that I can make steps to improve the content moving forward, which I plan to do regardless, but would like some input on. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.